Hi, Judy. How are you today? Good morning, Kathy. Good morning to you. It's actually 2 minutes to noon, so I can say that for 2 seconds. Hey, Nancy. It's weird. I'm talking and I can't hear myself talk. How's everybody today? Have you got your coffee or your drink of choice? So I'm just sitting here piddling, trying to convince myself I want to work on that Irish chain today. I've been looking at videos. Sun is shining. That's a big plus. Hey Lori, how are you today? So I think this is probably going to be a regular time for us, noon on Thursday and noon on Friday, and maybe an earlier chat earlier in the week because it feels weird to go so long in between. I've got some crafty stuff I want to work on today. I've got all my Lori Holt fabric in, and I'm going to put it all in one spot so I can pick out what goes to all of my little chickies. So I'm going to spend some time with Miss Lori this afternoon and try to get all my chicken fabrics picked out. And we're going to do some rearranging of my sewing area this weekend, at least I hope, so that I can get my Cricut over here where I can film while I'm cutting stuff and be able to show you guys how to do that. The other thing I've got planned is I want to show you how to cut the templates out if you don't have a cutting machine. And I was thinking maybe we would work on that today. What do you guys think about that idea? You interested in me showing you how to cut the heat and bond? I've got my chicken salad book over here that I'm working with a little bit. Tilt the camera down some so y'all can see what I'm looking at. And hubby went to see if mail ran for me. Ooh, I have fabric. Bless you.
Yep.
He brought me a present. Ooh, what's that one from Soyatsu?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So. Oh, yeah. That was weird. You figured they put it in one box to save money because that probably would have fit.
Yeah, probably would have. Hey, Kim, how are you today? The youngest in the family will be here later.
We knew that.
Oh.
You never know, right?
Yep. I don't think I'm due till close to December. Cats is due. Looky. Let's not have that little black thing hanging over my face. Works for you? Oh, okay. Do you guys see this? This is from So Yeah. Let me get my skizzers over here. I won something from him the other night, but this doesn't look like that package. They're getting really efficient at packing things up. I thought that they had all new people working a while back. And I'm trying to figure out how to get into the package. They've got it well wrapped for sure. About the time one bag, 2 bag. Eventually I'll get into this thing, right? Ooh, I see pink. Thinking maybe I got a pink fabric. I did. I got a Poppy Cotton seed pack. It's 42 5-inch squares. Get rid of the garbage so I don't have to look at that. Make sure it's, come on. Can you see all the pretty? Yeah. Happy Meal, yes. Let's see. See if we can do it without all the glare from that package. There we go. And then, oh yeah, I like those colors. I'm kind of into the vintagey stuff. So I like the blues and the pinks and the greens. Really pretty. Very, very pretty. Okay, and apparently I got my basics box. Hi, Patty. Now, I've cried every time. Well, I haven't cried. Let me take that back. I have watched everybody else's unboxing videos for their basics box. Do you guys want me to unbox this basics box while we're here? Or shall I wait until everybody's gotten theirs? Because I can do either way. I'm anxious to see what's in it, but I can wait till after the live if needed. Opening it on camera is fun, but you know how that goes. I'm going to at least take the outer packaging off. Oh, yes? Does that mean open it, Judy? Does anybody else here get this box? Is it going to be like a sore disappointment to you if you see it? Oh, Nancy's like, yep, I want to see it. Okay. Do you get the box too, Nancy? Good morning, Beverly. How are you today? I got my So Yeah baking box. Oh, Kim, you need a few more bags. First, I got to get it out of the package, Judy. So, as you know, it comes in this plain brown box. They don't do anything fancy with it. So Becca's opening hers right now. Well, I'm glad I got mine at the same day, so I don't. Wow. My hubby's out stealing eggs from chickens. The pencil's in the same spot, baby. Ooh. It's because I opened it upside down. Okay. So, as you know, they put cute little things in here. This is the dad joke this month. It says, why are elevator jokes so classic and good? And it says, because they work on so many levels. Yes, that's a dad joke. Ooh, that's cute. Let's see if I can get it up there where the camera can pick it up. That's the sticker for this month. I was putting them on the boxes, but I don't think I'm going to end up keeping all the boxes. And then that's the QRL codes, which I guess I can't give you. Happy National Quilting Month. Grateful and proud to be part of the incredible quilting community. And this month is Wyndham Fabrics for the Bedrock collection. I like the lavender. I'm hoping that means that there's going to be lavender in this box. Oh, can you see that? I have to give So Yeah credit for this one. I love the way that is packaged. Isn't that pretty? It looks like they're probably all fat quarters. I won't know till I get a chance to look. But wow, that's nice. You see it?
I need sunglasses.
Because it's bright.
Oh yeah.
There's a spool of lavender thread. So that's awesome. And then there's all these pretty fat quarters. I'm going to leave them where they're sitting. Yep, thank you. Oh, the notion this month is really cool. Double-sided seam ripper with small and large blades on opposite ends. And you can use the rubber tips as erasers to clear threads from fabric. I like that. I like the fact that it's big. Let me open this up and see if I can pull this out. Oh, it came apart as I was taking it out. I thought it would be squishier, but the ends are rubberized, and this is a plastic handle in the middle. Did I lose you guys? Nobody's talking but me. And it has a big seam ripper at one end, and it looks like a little seam ripper at the other. But that will come in handy, and it's actually got a nice size grip on it, not like those little seam rippers. Now let's get to the fun stuff. Yep, I think they're fat quarters. Brody's been teaching somebody how to fold again. Because look, well, it's either fat quarters or it's fat eighths. That looks like a fat quarter, so I'm going to say it's a fat quarter of fabric. I likey, I likey. And then folds back up, and there is lavender. That's a medium purple. This is a really light purple. I don't know if you can tell. A blue. A light green. I'm going to run out of places to put these in my hands. A darker green, and I'm trying to keep them in the order that they sent them because I'm betting there's going to be something special to that. This is kind of a medium green. A somewhat dark yellow. And I'll bring them up here together. And that's a sunnier yellow there. And then I've got two colors of orange and two colors of pink, kind of a deeper and a lighter pink. So I'll be interested to see what the quilt pattern is for this month. With that purple thread, that'll be interesting. I do like that everything's kind of got a theme though, because the seam ripper is a light pink and it's a Seam Fix brand. So that goes well with the purple and of course the pink packaging. And then I don't know where I'm going to put the sticker. I put last month's on my sewing machine. Isn't that gorgeous fabric? I was kind of thinking to myself, I don't know if I want to keep doing this box, but yeah, I think so. I think so. And then I'm trying to see if I can peel the back off the sticker. Yeah, those are definitely spring colors, aren't they, Judy? I think that's going to be fun to play with. And I'll look at the quilt pattern that they have for it. Let me see if I can do that without giving away the pattern on camera, because let's see if I can get to the QR reader. That's the wrong application, Melissa. Where is my QR reader? It's in my tools. Tools. I want to see what they've got for the It's $55 a month. That includes shipping, Nancy. Yeah, I like the stickers too. This one's really pretty though with those purple flowers. Purple and kind of lavendery. Let's see if I can get the quilt pattern to pull up for us. That is going to be a box that is fun to play with. I can see it now. Like I said, there's all the colors in the box. I'm trying to get it where you guys can see it really clearly. Those are pretty. And mine says web page not available. Why are you giving me such a hard time? And there's a 30% off coupon for Wyndham Fabric, so that's awesome. Let's see. I just want to see what the pattern looks like. Uh-oh. I'm freezed. Open the link. Three videos. And I'm trying to get it to pull up. That is a nice box, isn't it, Lori? Come on, you silly thing. My phone isn't wanting to move as fast as I would like to move. And I'm looking to see if I can get the pattern. It's $55 a month. And if that pattern behind Zach is the pattern, I'm going to have a blast. Go back a little bit. Oh, and they're giving you 2 patterns this month. Looks like a placemat and something else. I don't know if you guys can see that. But it looks like they used a black background for it. That will be fun. I may not use black, but I don't know. I might use black. We'll have to see. I think that's really cool. Yes, it's a pretty box. And I'm going to have a blast playing with that. That's the block. And like I said, they used a black background. I will probably end up using white because I'm more of a traditional kind of quilter. But yeah, I think that's going to be a lot of fun to make. And I will probably make it on a chat or on a live once I've actually seen the pattern itself. My phone wasn't loading the pattern up for me. Usually they have a written pattern that you can print out. And I like that because then I can do all the cutting up front. And then I'm not giving away their measurements when I'm sewing stuff up. And I'm quite certain that Becca did a better job of opening that box than I did. She's a pro at it and I'm not. And I'm sitting here trying to peel this sticker still. I don't know who makes their stickers, but wow. That's pretty good. Okay, come on. What a pain. But it says you reap what you sow. That's going to be a fun one to do. Turn my phone off. Yeah, black will set off all those colors really nice, won't it, Nancy? And also, even though those are all spring colors, if you put the black on it, that'll make it a little more masculine of a quilt. So maybe one of the grandsons will get one of those. The girls would love the colors too. My oldest granddaughter is 11 this year, if I'm right. So I'd like to make her a quilt that she can carry off into college and all that. That's where I'm at on everybody, is trying to make them bigger quilts at this point. And we still got babies coming. So the baby quilts have got to be done. That triple iris chain that I did, it's a baby quilt, and I would like to get it done like yesterday, actually. So we're working on that. Lori, it is a nice box. That's the third one. I'm trying to remember what the first one was pink or peach and white shades, and I've already got that earmarked. That's actually the perfect size for a baby quilt. The second one is that blue knot quilt that I'm working on. It's not the pattern that they used, because they used something that had all snowballed corners in it. And I opened the box up and immediately thought, I want to do the twist quilt in these colors. So I did the twist quilt, which is not laying over here. Nope, that's just fabric from the quilt. So I made a twist quilt last month, and I want to quilt that one, and I have it set aside for a baby quilt for somebody. And I've got another baby quilt I've got to start, because Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday, they're going to induce my niece, and she's supposed to have the baby, first part of next week anyway. So I am trying to I have thread everywhere, and it looks like big old blobs of food. I'm trying to get hers done for her, because she's in Naples, so that won't take very long to get to her. I just need to get it to her. And she wants she wants woodland animal babies. That's the theme she picked for the nursery. Okay, so do you guys want me to show you how to cut the chicken salad without using a cutting machine? Do you want me to run through that for you so you can see it, or do you want to work on something else this morning? I think Kathy's interested in seeing that. We were talking about it yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, right, Kathy? The shower is April 10th. Okay, Beverly, you have a great day. You got to take care of business before anything else. All right. So this is my infamous Heat and Bond light that we've talked about before. And here's my little cheater book that I'm using. And I'm going to pull out the pieces for Percy. So I need to do M2. I'm going to write these numbers down on the corner of my Heat and Bond so I can have it. You're listening as you sew? All right, Judy, that's cool. And I need M4. And I need 12, and I need 12, 2 reversed. Then I need 23 and 24. And 28. So what I did is I wrote down my numbers just on the corner of my Heat and Bond. There's no point in having another piece of paper. And then I know I showed you guys how the book is working for me, but what I did is when I put my shapes in here, I gave each shape its own little pocket in my book. And I'm going to go through the pockets in my book, and I'm going to pull out the shapes that I need. And I numbered the pockets as well, so that if a piece is missing from a pocket, I know exactly which piece it is. Come on, let's go to the right one. Arthritis loves me. I just realized something about these pockets, though. They have 2 pockets on each side, so you can get into it from either side, which means you can store 18 items in one. So I've got 2, 4. I need number 12. Ooh, he's going to have 2 wingies. 23, 24, and 28. And I've got these in big pocket protectors. Well, 23, 24, 28. There you are. So I'm getting out all my little shapes so that I can draw them on my Heat and Bond. And I want to be really specific and show you how to draw them on here, because it'll make it easier for you when you get ready to do yours. And this is Mr. Percy's body, because that's the one I'm tracing today. So let's see if we can get the camera to focus on my work area and not on my computer. Oops. Hi, James. There's a little bit of a delay between when I do something and when it actually shows up. And I'm going to get a darker pen so you guys can see. Good morning, Laura Miller. How are you today? All right, so now that we have our pieces, I'm going to lay them over here where I can see them. And I'm going to start drawing on my Heat and Bond. Now, one of the things that you need to remember with Heat and Bond is that it's going to go on the back of your fabric. So when you put down your template, you're going to put your template so it is face down. And the reason for that is if you don't, your entire thing is going to be reversed whenever you put your fabric on your block. You may not care about that, but if you want it to look like the block in the chicken salad, then you definitely want to make sure it's laid down backwards. And you can use the part that's written on down here. That's not an issue. That doesn't transfer over to your fabric. Laura, I'm having a great day. I got my So Basics box from So Yeah. Now, I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to make it so you can. Nothing underneath there. And I'm just tracing around my shape with my pen. And I'm making a really dark line so that you guys can see it. At least I hope you can. So there's my Percy. And I'm going to cut most of mine out with my Cricut, but I want to make sure if you don't have some fancy cutting machine, I'd like to make sure that you can do it too. Okay, and I'm going to label this piece so that I know what it goes to, just in case I don't get to putting it on the fabric really quick. Whoops, I dropped a template, and that's never a good thing. At least it's on my skirt. All right, so you can see, I hope, that I've drawn my first template shape on there. And remember that that is reversed, because when I put it on the fabric is going to bring it up the right way. You're going to put this on the back of your fabric. And the template shapes are really easy to draw in here. I do need to keep track of number 12, because it says that I need to draw 2 of them and they need to be reversed. So what that means for me, that's 2, and this is 12. 12 is little wings, okay? And reversed means that I need to put this down on my heat and bond right side up. Now what I'm doing is I'm going from the biggest piece to the smallest piece because I like to save as much of this as I possibly can. But in between my pieces, I'm giving myself a little extra room, maybe 1/4 to 1/2 an inch. And that room is so that I can cut out outside of the heat and bond shape to apply it to the back of my fabric, or to apply it to the back of my fabric, and be able to trim around the actual pattern piece so that it's very close to how it's drawn out. So that's 12. I'm going to note that it's reversed and that it's for Percy. And then I'm going to draw one more of 12 the exact same way. Kathy, I didn't send you the pattern to print out. I sent you a link to the sewing and cutting guide. There is no pattern. It's the sewing and cutting guide. I sent you the link in Messenger. I will pull that link and I'll put it in the description box for this video though. And that way it'll be accessible to anybody who wants to see it. It's a free link. So I'm not giving away anybody else's stuff. Okay, so that's my 2 number 12s with that's on there. And then there's a couple of different ways you can do the other little pieces, because everything else I just need 1 for. That was 28. I'm marking off the ones I've already drawn. Now these are little tiny pieces. There's a wing, that's the wattle for the chicken. This is the wing for the baby chick. Wattle and comb for the big chicken. You can trace these out in little areas of your heat and bond if you want, which is, I'm going to do that here. Oops. About to make a mistake, fellers. Y'all are not catching me. You have to reverse the pieces whenever you trace them, because you want your fabric to be the right side up, and you want it all to be turned so it's going the same direction as it's listed in the cutting guide. And that's the M4 for Percy. The other thing you can do, especially if you're really tight on the heat and bond, or you really want to save it, is you can draw some of these smaller pieces inside the big chicken piece. Okay, so like right here, but you don't want to get super close to the edges of it. But this will definitely save it, and it keeps your piece from being so thick whenever you get everything onto your background fabric. So if I want to, I can draw out this little piece, which is going to be, I think, the comb for Percy. Here inside this piece of heat and bond that's being used for the big chicken. M2, and that's for Percy. And see, I've left a nice big area around it, so the fabric is still fastened down when I iron it down. And I can also draw the chick inside the heat and bond here. Again, I want to make sure I reverse it. So you can draw your chick inside there. I'm going to put M24 Percy. And then I need one more piece, and that's the little wing. So I'm going to put that down in there. And I'm going to draw it in. And that's M23. Okay, so now that I've got all of my little pieces drawn out on my heat and bond, can you see how I did that? Everything is traced. So So now what I can do is when I go to cut my pieces out, I cut out the big shapes and then I cut out these smaller shapes from inside, leaving myself as much room as possible around both the outside of this piece and at least a 1/4 inch on the inside here, so that the heat and bond goes further, it stretches further, and so there's enough to fasten everything down. So that's how you would do that, and then you lay the heat and bond on the back of the fabric you've chosen for each piece, and you use that to, you fasten it down to the back of the pieces, and then you put it together. Where's it raining at, Kim? You're in Canada, right? I have to remember where everybody's at. And then before I go any further, before I get my scissors out or do any of the other stuff, I'm going to go through here and I'm going to put my pieces away. So I have my M2 that's going to go right here in its pocket. I have my M4 that I'm going to put in its pocket. 23, 24. I like rain too, as long as it's not storming with it. If it starts storming with it, I'm ready to go hide somewhere. And Wayne will tell you that's the truth. So I think my big thing though is we live like in the middle of nowhere. And I'm always worried that we're going to get a tornado out here. I do kind of find it funny that our neighbors have recently put in a new house out here. And the way they were talking, I thought they were going to put in this big fancy dancy house. No, they drug in a trailer, just like we have. All right, so now all my pieces are put away. And I'm going to put my heat and bond inside here because I am not going to cut out the fabric pieces on camera. I haven't even picked out for sure which fabrics are going to go with what yet, but that's actually one of the tasks on my to-do list today. So does anybody have any questions about doing that tracing with the heat and bond light? I did the entire Lori Holt vintage housewife quilt that exact same way. And it worked really well. Independence, Missouri. I should know a fact about Independence, Missouri, and I don't. Oh, Kim, you weren't here last night when I showed these. I don't think. I got these yesterday in the mail from Amazon. They are compression gloves. And I'm going to put this one on, as a matter of fact. I slept in them last night because my rheumatologist suggested that I get something that keeps me from bending my wrist at awkward angles in my sleep. And I slept in these last night, and I'm like, oh yeah. I got up this morning and my hands did not hurt, which is highly uncommon around here. Usually when I get up in the mornings, they definitely bother me. So they've got these little studs on them, I guess. I don't know what else to call them, that help you grip things so you can wear them during the day. I find them a bit awkward to wear during the day, but they worked really well in my sleep last night, and they kept my hands warm, which is always a big issue. And when I got up this morning, I don't know if you can tell, but usually my hands are really swollen across the back here, and they're pretty flat today. You know, that one was really bad early in the week, and it's not too bad today compared to what it normally is. So, am I frosted? I always worry about that. You don't like the rain, James? You should give the boys a bar of soap and let them go play in the rain. I lived in Midwest City for a while when my boys were little, and that was nice. I'd let the kids go out in the backyard and run around in the rain. They liked playing in the mud, but the rain was nice because you could let them just sit there and play in the mud and play in the rain. They'd get out there and play with the dog. And they were safe because, of course, they were in the backyard and we had privacy fence across it, which was nice because then I could, stand in the kitchen and do dishes and watch them do their thing. No, I'm not frozen, Nancy. That's a good thing. So I'm not seeing anything from Kathy, and she was the reason I wanted to show the template tracing. And Kathy, I will get that link and I will post it. But I literally did send it to you via Messenger or one or the other. Let me see if I've got it still saved. Let's see. Kathy, we talk too much. I'm having to roll way back here. The Oh, hey Lisa. Hi Kay. Hi Shirley. How are you this morning? I've been over here running my mouth for 20 minutes. I didn't schedule it, but I'm trying to do noon on Thursday and Friday, guys. Noon my time, Eastern Standard. And then I'll probably do an earlier chat one day earlier in the week, like Tuesday, because I think if I remember right, Tracy from Craft a Simple Life is going live on Monday mornings now. There you go, Kathy. Kathy, on Facebook Messenger, I sent the cookbook sew along guide for the chicken salad quilt to you via Facebook Messenger. So if you look at that, you should see that link and you can print that out or just download it to your computer. And I think that's why I did it that way, was so you could download it to your computer. For anybody else who's interested, it's under Riley Blake Designs. Image Sew Along's cookbook is what it says. Sew Along Guide PDF. Oh, no, no beauty appointment thanks to snow. Well, you don't need it anyway, Kay. You're perfectly fine the way you are. Kathy, she does 10 a.m. Eastern, which I think is too early for you. Or maybe 11. If she comes in, I'll ask her. Oh, Kentucky's not far, yeah. Vicky, you can't be late to a live. You cannot be late to a live. I keep saying that. You're perfectly welcome to even just come in and out whenever you're ready. That's fine. Trying to read the chats. Kathy, did you look in your Facebook Messenger and find that, or do I need to resend it? Well, you guys are all up north. I'm the only one in Florida. Everybody's saying hello to everybody else. That's a good thing. Hey, Joyce Hernandez, how are you this morning? So I will. So what we've already done this morning is I opened my So Yeah Basics box that I got today. Has all kinds of really pretty spring colors in it. And lavender seems to be the theme of the day. And the Notion that they sent this month was really cool. Yeah, you and I are the outliers, Kathy. We're out in the middle of nowhere compared to everybody else. They sent me a double-ended seam ripper. So I've got a big seam ripper on one end and a little seam ripper on the other. You're getting Cousin It vibes because of your hair, Kay. I got to remember that you're in Wyoming. I knew you were somewhere out that way, Joyce, but for some reason I had Nebraska in my head. But so this is the seam ripper that I got, and I like it because it's got a big handle on it, and of course because it's pretty pink. And these rubber ends are supposed to be good at getting threads off of fabric. And considering that I'm always covered in thread, if that works, I'll be happy. Ontario. So you're probably our furthest north person, Judy. And then a few days ago, we were talking about gloves and different things for your hands. So I put mine back on. I slept in them last night. And these are compression gloves. They actually worked really well. They feel a little tiny tight, but they're not so tight that it cuts off circulation. You need to learn about tension settings when FMQing on a domestic machine. Lisa, the best way to do that for your machine is to take a small, 6 to 12 inch piece of fabric that is the same weight as your front and back, and put some batting in between, and then run some test stitches on that until you figure out what the proper tension is. On mine, I have a little twisty button at the top that I can raise and lower the pressure foot. And then, of course, I've got the tension discs for the needle thread, etc. I wouldn't worry about bobbin tension. I would worry about the top thread tension. And then if you've got the option to change the tension on your, tension on your presser foot, then I would use those two to do it. But the best way to do it is literally to practice with a small piece that's similar in weight to what you're quilting, and you'll have a better idea. And I will tell you that when I first started free motion quilting on my Juki, I started right out on a quilt, and it was not pretty. I had to pick everything out. So use the tester piece to figure out your tension. But don't let it scare you. It's not all that scary. You know, if you can manage to do tension when you're piecing, you may have to adjust it up or down, but every machine's a little bit different. My Juki, it does a pretty good job of tension on most stuff. Let's see. And if you use the same color thread, it's not as big a deal. That's the other thing I wanted to make sure I told you. I don't know how up close you can see this, but I have a couple of little places where I did have issues, but that is more of a tangle of thread than it is a tension issue. But the rest of it looks really good, and I just play with it. When you start free motion quilting on it, just dive in and play. I mean, that's exactly right. Because the only way I don't know about everybody else, but the only way I learn is just to do it, which is why I make so many table runners and that kind of stuff. Good morning, Marie. Because you can make a table runner in, a tenth of the time it takes you to piece a quilt and put that together. And by the time you do all of the hassles of making a quilt, on some machines it does make a difference, Nancy. On some of them it's nice if you go to a lighter weight thread. I've made quilts before with like a nylon weight thread because I knew they were going to be used by little kids. And sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. You just have to try. Kim went through Montana. Yeah, Lisa, go for it and then put up the results. I mean, show us. Aw, thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it. Oh, Lisa, get that machine out and plug it in. It's got a little bit of learning curve on learning to thread it. There's a piece at the top where it looks like you're supposed to run the thread over the top, but it's supposed to go under that plate. And but once you get it threaded, that machine's got great tension and it's got a whole lot of options for a mechanical machine. I mean, it doesn't have the computerized stuff, but yeah, plug it in and play with it. It's a really good machine, and you've got a knee lift on that. So if you prefer to use a knee lift, then you've got that to be able to work with. Yeah, dog blankets, little kids blankets for them just to drag around, Lori, all that stuff is fun. But once you make a few of them, you'll know what your machine does. What do you sew on besides the Jazz 2? If you're starting to learn free motion quilting. And the Jazz has a really big throat plate. It's got like a 12-inch throat plate. And that is very helpful when you're learning to quilt. The more room you have, the easier it is to move things around. These would probably be great to quilt in too, because they have those grippers. So, no love, just paying the rent. Aw, there you go. But if you do want to get gloves, I've seen a lot of people recommend you get gardening gloves and just cut the tips of the fingers off. These actually were a suggestion, I think, in Kathy's chat from somebody. And I thought, okay, let's try them and see how they work. You're too bad. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with having one machine that you piece on and one that you free motion quilt on. I mean, that's up to you. I do both on my Juki. But I tell you, when I first got the Juki, I was a little intimidated because I had it on a Grace frame, a cutie frame. And every time I did any free motion quilting on it, I would get tension in the back. I'd have strings left over, or it wouldn't, come up the way I wanted it to. So I took it out of the frame, and then hubby built me this table that I love. And I've done a lot of free motion quilting with the Juki now without it being on the frame. And I'm about ready to put the Juki back on the frame and see if I can free motion quilt on that frame. Yeah, gardening gloves from the dollar store would work. But these are great because they've got the compression for my hands. And I tend to go numb right down through here, right there. Yeah, on the Jazz, you're the speed controller on the Juki as well. Hey, Tracy, I was just talking about you a couple of minutes ago. Have you decided that you're going to go live a specific time on Mondays, or are you still trying to figure it out? Yeah, Vicky, you've got a Jazz too, and I think you've got a Flourish also, right? The same as I do? Yeah, you definitely are the speed controller on the Jazz. And Vicky's no, you don't have a Flourish, you have an SE400, a Brother SE400, right? I'm trying to remember. And Kathy's still learning her new machine. Monday at 11 Easter time. Yeah. So I'm pretty much committed to Thursday and Friday at noon Eastern, Tracy. And then I'm thinking maybe an earlier in the morning chat on Monday or Tuesday. You have a great day, Nancy. Have fun shopping. And I'm saying that ironically because I hate going in stores. 11 a.m. is 8 o'clock your time? For Tracy's, yeah. Yeah. Tracy is doing EPP with hexagons on her channel right now. I don't know what she's going to do next, but that's enjoyable to sit and watch her EPP. English paper piecing, in case anybody doesn't know what that is. See, Marie, I told you, I don't like doing it that way. I don't like doing it with the interfacing that way. That's why I'm doing heat and bond light. Now, Marie, were you here when I was showing how to trace the templates onto heat and bond? I'm sure you know how. But are there any, if you were here, are there any tips you'd add to that? Yeah, the heat and bond light is a whole lot easier than that interfacing way. I know she said in a video, Lori Holt did, that she likes that it gives it a little lift off of the fabric. So yeah, Tracy, Thursday at 2 would probably work. But she likes that the interfacing way gives it a little lift off the fabric. But I'm looking at it and going, I don't care about that. So, oh, well, that's nice, Vicky. He does come up and take you shopping, or he's going to come and take you shopping? Oh, I would just went over it in the live, Marie. It's okay. It's okay. I just did, I traced out my Percy pieces for here. And I was just showing that all the templates need to be reversed when you trace them. And then I showed how to, like if you've got a big piece like the chicken body, how to trace those smaller pieces inside of it so that you can make maximum use of your heat and bond. And then of course I label all of mine just in case I cut it out and don't have it, something falls on the floor. He comes from Wisconsin to take you shopping? Wow, Vicky. That's very nice of him to do. You'll rewatch. Yeah, Marie, if you think of anything that I didn't very well, or any tips that would work. Yeah. Well, I'm cheap and I hate waste. Plus, it gives you a slightly thinner, you don't have all those layers of heat and bond on top of each other. You're going to do some English paper piecing with 1.5-inch hexagons, and you have a 2-inch that you've started the Halloween print quilt top. Kim, you're a better woman than I am. I can't do that with my hands. I tried and I'm like, I got to find another way to do this. A 5-hour drive to come take mom shopping. Wow. Vicky, are you able to get delivery where you're at, or are you like me? You're too far out of town. Oh, that actually works, Tracy. I understand the concept. I think that's why I started during applique quilts. Oh, I'm not 100% sure I explained it well, Marie. I just kind of feel like I just put it out there. I also did yesterday, if you've got a Cricut, I put up a video for how to turn a template into an SVG cut file so that you can save it and use your Cricut to cut things out. And I wanted to make sure I got that one traced out for everybody to see. I'm going to do Cricut cutting next week. You're too far out like I am. That stinks, Vicky. The only company that will deliver out here is Instacart, and I don't think they like doing it. So we tip very generously when we order from Instacart, which kind of makes it just as cheap to drive ourselves into town and pick stuff up. So we do a lot of Walmart pickups. Oh, well, fabric is always worth the trip, Vicky. At least I think so. But Actually, the gloves feel pretty good on right now. I'm faking it. I'm a boxer. Oh, they are actually working. I couldn't make a fist yesterday. Cool. Very cool. I didn't want to talk on that one. I was like, I'm going to be distracting. So I just made sure I covered all of the things that could drive you crazy or that drove me crazy. Oh, I thought that was somebody talking with me about the thing. I don't know what La Passion is, Lori Miller. Is that a quilt pattern by somebody specific? I tell you who I'm impressed by is all those people who are doing those Judy Niemeyer paper piecing quilts. I found and printed out a pineapple paper piecing pattern. Say that 5 times fast. Pineapple paper piecing pattern yesterday. And I want to play with that and see if I can do it that way. But I have never paper pieced in any way, shape, or form except for some hexagons by hand. My hands won't do that full time. So once I play with that one, I'll let y'all know what I think. I did save it's a free pattern, and I did save it to my computer so I can print it out later if I decide I like it. It's the next quilt coming up on Kathy's channel, guys. And Kathy, you could put up links to channels if you want to. That would be nice. Yours and Craft a Simple Life. Anybody else who has a channel, more than welcome to. Unfortunately, only moderators can put channels up. But, you know, if you've got a channel and you want Kathy to put it up, just ask her to do it when she has a minute. Slow and steady is the key. It's an English paper piecing pattern. So English paper piecing, if I remember right, is like doing hexagons. You fold it over you fold the fabric over a piece of paper, then sew around the fabric. Is that what that is? I like Walmart sale fabrics too. As a matter of fact, I got a ton of fat quarters a couple of weeks ago for $1 a piece. Sue, I watched Eleanor Burns do the corner of the Seminole quilt last night or early this morning, and I'm still just as confused as I was to start with. So I'm thinking that Eleanor Burns may not be the right teacher for me, but I am going to sit down and watch it again later on when I'm not tired, etc., and see if I can figure it out from just watching it, maybe without the volume. Oh, Kathy, if you only moderators have this option, but if you click on the 3 dots to the right of somebody's name, it'll bring up that whole list of things. One of those items is if the person has a channel, you can click on go to channel. It'll open it in a separate window. And then when it opens in that separate window, you copy the link for the person's channel, either from the taskbar at the top or from their about page. And then you paste that in the chat as a message. Foundation paper piecing is the Judy Niemeyer technique. Oh, Lisa, I think everybody does something different and everybody learns different ways. So it's not that Eleanor Burns isn't a good teacher. She is, but I don't understand the way she teaches as well as I do some other people. So it's just like for me, Yvette's got a whole series called Piecing It Real, or a group that you can join and do those tutorials. Kathy, if you can't get it to work, I'll do it, but um, it's a nice skill to have. It definitely is. Look at James just saying hello to everybody again. There you go. But anyway, I'm not the it takes me a minute to learn skills. Once I learn them, I'm good, but I can't learn from everybody. I have to have somebody that hits the way I learn. I learn by doing and I learn by actually figuring it. Yeah, there'd be a ton of waste in that kit, I'm sure, Kay. I mean, I didn't get it from Fat Quarter Shop. I got it from Reb's Fab Stash. And I have a whole little box full of fabric that was left over from the Vintage Housewife quilt. I'm actually going to bring that box out when I start putting all my blocks together. And I'm going to use that fabric with what I make for the chicken salad. Because there was one, I got a whole fat quarter of fabric and I needed, I think it was a 1-inch by 21-inch piece of fabric to use for the bias tape on something. Well, if I didn't have that fabric, I would have just used another red that was in the box for that bias tape. But that was a lot of waste. And yeah, we do all learn differently, Tracy, and everybody has different frames of reference to bring stuff. For me, crochet is not an easily learned skill. It took me a while. Yeah, but I liked being able to learn it. Marie, when I learned crochet, I watched like 5 or 6 different teachers, and the one who worked for me was yeah, I'm not watching on the phone. Do you need me to do it, Kathy? I can. That's not a problem. The one that I finally learned it from was Jada and Stitches. And the way she does hers is when she sits down to teach, she's got her camera between her and the crochet. And I could actually literally mimic the movements she was making. So I learned how to crochet from her because I could actually follow every single step right up close and personal. I don't need to do that with quilting patterns. I've finally gotten to where, I look at them and I'm like, oh, that's how you make that. That's cool. So, but Lori, if it takes slow, go ahead. There's no problem with that. Shirley, I love your name. I really do. Um, Paper piecing for half square triangles and flying geese. I think that's cool. I think that would be something I would want to learn. All right, so let me do this. See if it'll let me do it while I'm actually hosting. When you click on that go to channel button, Kathy, you want to make sure that it loads and that it's the channel that you want. So here's Kathy's channel, guys. She and I are co-conspirators on a whole lot of stuff. Let's see, around to it, since you're the next person popped up right here. And then I'm going to put Tracy up. Let's see, this is Shirley. This is around to it. And yeah, Marie, I haven't managed to teach myself how to knit yet. That one's one that I want to learn. It isn't instinctive or intuitive for me. Sewing stuff is, knotting stuff isn't so much. This one's Tracy at Craft a Simple Life. So you should check everybody's channels out. Around to it, Shirley does a lot of videos similar to how I do things, as far as like she was showing how to pre-cut freezer paper and brown paper, which I guess is what's more common in Canada. She was showing how to do those so that you could use them. Hello, Colleen, my troublemaking friend. How are you today? I just put everybody's links up, Colleen, except yours. Anytime, Kathy. Anytime, guys. Oh, the New York Beauty. The Quilting Marine does gorgeous ones. He does gorgeous ones. Let's see. And my girl Colleen there is, it's Jolene with a C. Joyce, you have a great day. I'll have to look that up, Marie. Knit Freedom. I did, I think I managed to make a washcloth, dishcloth, something like that. But that's the whole reason I taught myself how to crochet too, was so that I could make dishcloths. Because I was like, I ain't paying $10 for a dishcloth. No smile for me. I don't want to smile. I used to like hand sewing, Sue. It's not my big thing anymore. Yes, she is the best little troublemaker. And then my next project, after I get all the ones that are on my list done, is probably going to be the hummingbird applique quilt that Lisa Capon is doing. She's about to finish it up, which is fine. I don't mind that. I kind of like to do them after they're all done, so I can print everything at once, because I'm an impatient quilter and I like to pull things up, lay it all out, and do it all in one day. Or, you know, in as fast a process as I can. I don't do well with that. Let me have, you know, one block this week, one block next week. And I did share you. I did share you now. But I like to do projects in whole rather than a little bit here and a little bit there. It irritates me to have to wait a week to get another block. That just, or a month or whatever. I could not do the monthly sew-alongs because of that. That's not my thing. Mine too, Colleen. I love crocheted dishcloths. The hummingbird is actually, you can do it two ways. You can do it with paint on fabric, which I've done a couple of small wall hangings that way. And you can do it with applique. And I'm impressed that she's doing this one with applique. Branched out to sweaters for the grandbabies and then fell in love with knitting. You've made several pairs of socks, baby blankets, and knit sweaters. Awesome. I like that. I live in Florida. Knitted clothes are like not the be all and end all down here. I mean, you might have gloves or a scarf or something, but most people down here don't wear a lot of sweaters. So I'm always intrigued when I see people on TV shows wearing like knitted striped sweaters and all that stuff. I always look at them real closely because they're so rare for me to see. The other thing is quilt jackets and quilt coats. I keep thinking, why would anybody do that? But I guarantee you those are probably the weakest. Yeah, that makes sense, Kay. They're probably the warmest quilted coats are, but I don't know, not my thing. My sticker just found a home. I like that purple up there. And if I don't like it later, I'll just take it off. It's a different shade of white than my Juki is. You guys will definitely see it. Okay, you really only get to sew on the weekend. I guess that makes sense. Even if I only got to sew on the weekend, I would still want to do the whole thing at once. I'm just impatient, and I know it. So, oh, Colleen, you better go get some food. Socks, hats, mittens, and some sweaters. You probably need them up there where you're at, Vicki. Oh, that's probably crazy. Well, yeah, well, Florida, it's cold for us at a much higher temperature than it's cold for you guys. Um, for me, 60 degrees outside is pretty cold. For you guys, you're wearing, flip-flops and t-shirts. Yeah, 4 or 5 days of Florida winter. Exactly, Marie. That's what we get. We had a frost in January. We got up one morning and there was frost on our cars. That was a big deal. We're up north, you guys would be like, "Oh, not bad. It's just a little frost and not snow and ice today." So, I lived in Oklahoma City for 9 years, and we'd get a week or two of snow. Not able to follow. Are you sewing again today while you're listening, Shirley? Yeah. Those few days of cold are just like, ah. I mean, it's like 85 during the day now and 66 at night, which feels really cool. But when you're used to 100-degree days, and 95-degree nights, it's kind of like it all puts it in perspective. You're used to 70-degree days, and then when it gets really cold, it's really cold. But when you come to Florida, I've got to hang now, sorry. When you come to Florida and you walk into the wall of humidity that is this state, you aren't going to be able to breathe and your blood is going to be sluggish and going through your body. Where ours have all adjusted to it. I have a friend who lives in Denver at 8,500 feet elevation, and she gets snow in June. So she literally has like 2 months where there's no snow, and then she's right back to it. Yeah, snow in May isn't uncommon in some parts of the UP. A friend of mine that I went to high school with, snow, I hate snow. She moved up to way up on like the thumb of Michigan, and they own a little farm up there. And she has pictures of that farm that she used to share on Facebook where the snow was like a foot below the roof line of the barn, and their house would be surrounded, and they'd have like a little wall of a path going out from the hair to the barn. Your hair is going to be, are you going to actually be able to get in? Or your hair is going to be happy because it's not going to get cut? For some reason, I keep expecting you to have purple hair too. I got off onto a YouTube tangent last night, watching various musical things, and I ended up watching Prince and his band sing No Diggity. And I thought, it is time for me to go to bed, because I was just could not believe that was what I was watching. And it was a shock, because Prince used to always troll YouTube and take down his videos of his stuff. Your hair likes humidity. Does it do this when it gets humidity? My son has super curly hair, and his curls up even more in the humidity down here in Florida. And mine just does whatever it wants. You got a phone call while you run a live? Silver unicorn highlights in your hair. On purpose, or is that just how your hair is?
Or special effects.
What?
Or special effects.
Special effects. Tech support says, is that special effects, Purple Wall? I was spinning there for a second. Sorry about that. Okay, guys, we have been on for almost an hour and a half. Yeah, that's where you work. No diggity. I used to love listening to her when I was at the gym. More curls? Yeah. My son, when he was like 16, he got head lice from putting on a helmet at the skate park. I told him, take your helmet, don't wear theirs. But he put on this helmet and then he comes home and he's like, in his hair. So I'm pulling his hair out. And, his hair was like here, maybe a little bit lower. And I pulled it out and pulled it out, and pulled it out, and pulled it out. Finally, I said, you're going to have to cut this crap because there is no way I'm sitting here and you're going to make me crack up, Kay. I told my son there was no way I was going to sit there and pick through all of that hair. I said, you can do it if you want to, but I'm not. There was no way because he had super thick hair. So this long curly hair, he sat there and went through it. He did it all and he got it all. But I told him, I said, I'm not doing that because there was just no way. I didn't have 35 years to sit there and pick at his hair. And his hair still does the same. Head full of springs with silver unicorn streaks. So Lisa and Kay have the same hairstyle. Super curly hair with silver unicorn streaks. Aw. You're not supposed to text while you drive, Colleen. Be careful. And you guys, she talks about trolling her hubby. She's so mean. She needs to quit. She's rotten is what she is. All right. Anyway, guys, looks like everybody else is starting to head out. I'm really interested in seeing the Sewing Machines Plus live stream today, at least later on in the day. They're supposed to announce who won their quilt contest. And Miss Tiffany is one of the finalists from Tiffany's Quilting Live. So I would kind of like to let that scroll in the background while I work on other stuff. But I'm really, really, really got my fingers crossed hard that she wins. That would be nice. So if you guys have a few minutes or want to just listen to some background noise, that might be something. I think it's being announced like 8 o'clock our time, 8 o'clock Eastern, because I think Sewing Machines Plus is in California, which is Pacific Standard Time. But maybe keep an eye out later this afternoon to see if Tiffany wins. Okay? And you guys all have a great day. I will see you early part of next week, and I'll probably put up a video here and there. You're going to be on RS Islands Live? Okay. When does she come on, Sue? And are you going to be on the live, or are you going to be probably Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock Eastern, Tracy? And then again, noon on Thursday and noon on Friday. They actually have a YouTube channel, Marie, for Sewing Machines Plus, and they're running, this long stream today. So I've been kind of listening to it. Colleen, I'm so sorry that your husband and son are on your case about being nice. All right. Everybody, you have a great weekend. Let's all wish Tiffany good luck. I think the voting closed on it, but you can check on the website also and see if there's still voting going on. But I think it's not. I think it's done. And I will tell tech support that you guys all said thank you for such a nice live. Oh, okay, Sue. I'll definitely check that out. I haven't been to any of her lives, although I've watched a few videos. All right. Everybody have a great weekend. I will see you live on Tuesday at 10 my time, and then Thursday at noon. And you all have a great day. And I'll probably see you guys all at Kathy's on Monday anyway. Bye.